didn't lose my life, lost an arm. It's not the end of the world.
It's that attitude, that outlook on life that stands out about Jordan Rivera. Despite being laid up in a hospital bed with wires all over, he's counting his blessings. His mother is too.
That's the best thing, is that I have him. Like, yes, arm gone, very traumatic, but he's here.
An alligator attacked Jordan early Sunday morning, biting off his right arm and nearly taking his life.
They got my elbow, so I don't have an elbow, but I can still move my arm around and whatnot.
Jordan doesn't remember much of what happened. What he does recall is that the bar he was at, Banditos in Port Charlotte, was busy and the bathroom line was long. So he walked to the pond out back.
I just saw a little lake, just trying to go over there and just, take a little pee or whatnot. Something happened where I either tripped or something, the ground below me kind of just went down, and I ended up in the water. And that's literally the last thing I remember.
The next time he opened his eyes, he was here in the hospital. It's then he found out that the gator ate his arm.
Confusion. I was like, whoa, because I woke up and I was just sitting here, and I looked over, and then I saw my arm the way it was, and I was like, ooh. It kind of just feels like my arm's just there, but not there.
If you think this story is wild, you're not the only one. Try telling it to the guy who's living through it, but remembers nothing.
It was just the craziest thing. It was almost out of a movie.
A movie that could have had a terribly tragic ending, but instead turned into a story of heroes. People at the bar rushed to help Jordan, pulling him from the water and putting a tourniquet on his arm.
I call them angels that were there that saved his life. The chances of someone being there with a tourniquet, to me, it's a miracle that he's here.
The story has captivated people all across Southwest Florida, but has also stirred up the rumor mill. Some people online claiming he was feeding the gator.
That is completely not true. They don't even serve food at that bar, so how would I couldn't have served the gator food.
Instead of spreading lies, Jordan would rather spread awareness that Florida's prehistoric predators aren't playing games.
I just show him my arm, hey, bud.
A man in Southwest Florida lost his arm in an alligator attack over the weekend.
And it happened in a pond just behind a restaurant in Port Charlotte. Nicole is in our newsroom now with the details on this one.
Eden and Christy, that 23-year-old was airlifted to the hospital. Troppers were called to the scene where a battle broke out between them and that gator.
David Lowe says while he was enjoying a relaxing Sunday at Bandito's Bar in Port Charlotte, Florida Fish and Wildlife officers were hard at work.
I wouldn't want to mess with him.
In a pond behind the bar, a battle between trappers and this alligator. They say this big guy had likely bitten a 23-year-old man. That man was airlifted to the hospital and lost his arm. The animal is more than 10 feet long. People at the bar say this isn't the first time they've seen a gator around here.
At least 20 years, the big one that I know of. If it's the same one, he's been there 20 years.
Lowe says he's even seen people feed alligators in this pond.
There was a restaurant, right, they just tore down, and I know people did feed that, throw whatever they didn't eat down in the water.
Eli Polanco says he's seen it too.
Southwest Florida, you got to be careful. It's part of life out here.
FWC says it's illegal and dangerous to feed an alligator because when they're fed, they can start to associate people with food. Experts say you should also swim only in designated swimming areas during the day. Plus, you should keep your pets on a leash and away from the water.
Wherever there's water, there's gators.
I just hope he recovers.
FWC wants to remind everyone, always keep a safe distance if you see an alligator. And if you do see one, you can call the hotline, FWC hotline, at 866-FWC-GATOR. Eden.